What is happening, crypto enthusiasts? Welcome back to Bitcoin Bulletin, your ultimate source for the hottest, fastest-moving updates in the digital asset space. The market is buzzing, the news cycle is relentless, and if you're not plugged in, you're missing out. Today, we've got a triple threat of stories that are shaking up the industry, and you absolutely need to know about them. Get ready, because we're diving deep into market shifts, groundbreaking projects, and expert predictions that could redefine your investment strategy. You won't want to miss a second of this. First up, we're talking about a major player whose ambitious Bitcoin strategy is hitting some serious turbulence. Their stock is plummeting, disrupting their funding model and forcing drastic measures to keep their massive Bitcoin acquisition plans on track. Is this the end of their flywheel, or just a speed bump on the road to Bitcoin dominance? You'll find out right here. Then, we're shifting gears to a challenger that's making waves, not with institutional backing, but with a massive retail investor surge. This project has raised hundreds of millions, outperforming established giants and building an ecosystem at lightning speed. Could this be the next big thing disrupting the Layer 1 landscape? We've got all the details. And if that wasn't enough, get ready for some serious market jitters as whispers of a massive sell-off from an OG Bitcoin whale send shockwaves through the community. We're breaking down the potential impact, the hedging strategies unfolding, and whether this whale activity could destabilize the entire market. Plus, we're looking at a prominent figure doubling down on an astronomical Bitcoin price prediction, even as the market tightens. Is this a sign of unwavering confidence or a disconnect from current realities? Stick around as we break it all down. Don't go anywhere, you need to stay informed. Hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and let's get into it. Metaplanet stock plummets amidst Bitcoin strategy turbulence. Metaplanet, a significant player in the cryptocurrency market, is currently facing a substantial downturn in its stock performance, which is critically impacting its ambitious Bitcoin acquisition strategy. The company, which holds the sixth largest Bitcoin treasury among publicly traded entities, with 18,991 BTC valued at approximately $2.1 billion, has seen its stock price drop by a staggering 54% since mid-June. This decline is particularly notable given that Bitcoin itself experienced a modest gain during the same period. The core of Metaplanet's financial strategy, often referred to as a flywheel mechanism, relies on increasing stock prices to enable its major investor, Evo Fund, to exercise warrants. The liquidity generated from these warrant exercises is then used to purchase more Bitcoin, creating a self-reinforcing cycle of growth. However, the recent 54% stock price slump has rendered these warrant exercises unattractive, effectively stalling this crucial capital-raising engine and hindering Metaplanet's ability to fund further Bitcoin purchases. In response to this liquidity crunch and the disruption of its primary funding model, Metaplanet is exploring alternative financing avenues. The company has announced plans to raise approximately $880 million through an overseas public share offering. Furthermore, it is seeking shareholder approval for a significant issuance of preferred shares, potentially raising up to $3.7 billion. These preferred shares are structured to offer up to 6% annual dividends, a move designed to attract capital without diluting the ownership stake of common shareholders. Company leadership has described this preferred share issuance as a defensive mechanism intended to stabilize funding amidst the ongoing stock price volatility. Adding to the financial pressures, Metaplanet's market valuation premium over its Bitcoin holdings has contracted dramatically. This premium, which was once over 8x in June, has narrowed to just 2x. Analysts emphasize that maintaining a healthy premium is vital for the long-term success of Metaplanet's Bitcoin accumulation strategy, as a shrinking premium increases the risk of dilution and complicates future fundraising efforts. To facilitate its new fundraising plans, Metaplanet has temporarily suspended Evo Fund's warrant exercises from September 3rd to September 30th. Despite these immediate challenges, there are potential positive developments on the horizon. Metaplanet is slated for an upgrade from a small cap to a mid-cap stock in the FTSE Russell's September 2025 semi-annual review, a recognition of its strong performance metrics. This inclusion in the FTSE Japan Index could enhance its market visibility and attract broader investor interest. The company's ability to navigate its current funding challenges and execute its ambitious Bitcoin acquisition goals will be closely watched as a key indicator of its financial resilience and strategic viability. But can Metaplanet weather this financial storm and continue its Bitcoin accumulation? We'll keep a close eye on it. Next, we're diving into a project that's capturing massive retail investor attention and challenging the established Layer 1 players. BlockDAG's $387 M presale dominates Layer 1 landscape. BlockDAG has emerged as a formidable force in the cryptocurrency sector, achieving a remarkable $387 million in its presale funding. This figure not only signifies a massive influx of capital, but also positions BlockDAG as a leader, surpassing the initial fundraising rounds of established Layer 1 competitors such as Avalanche, which raised $230 million, and Aptos, which secured $350 million. The project has successfully sold 25.6 billion coins and is currently in batch 30 of its presale, with the token price reaching 3 cents, marking an impressive 2,900% increase from its initial offering. BlockDAG has set an ambitious target of $600 million before its mainnet launch, potentially making it one of the most significant community-funded blockchain initiatives to date. A key differentiator for BlockDAG is its strong reliance on retail investors, eschewing traditional venture capital funding. The project has garnered participation from over 200,000 global holders, fostering a decentralized ownership structure that aligns with the growing trend in the crypto space, where broad community participation is increasingly viewed as crucial for long-term network success. This retail-centric approach has fueled substantial early adoption metrics. On the adoption front, BlockDAG has seen significant traction with its X1 mobile miner app, which has been downloaded more than 3 million times. Furthermore, 19,500 units of its X10 mining rigs have been sold, generating $7.8 million in revenue. The platform's Ethereum Virtual Machine, EVM, compatibility has also attracted a robust developer community, with over 4,500 developers actively building more than 300 decentralized applications. This indicates not only capital inflow, but also the development of a functional and expanding ecosystem. Analysts are pointing to BlockDAG's strategic marketing and partnerships as significant growth drivers. The project has secured high-profile sponsorships with major sports entities, including the football club Inter Milan, the rugby team Seattle Seawolves, and the cricket team Seattle Orcas. These collaborations are expected to expose BlockDAG to a vast global audience, enhancing its mainstream recognition ahead of its planned exchange listings. The project is also set to gain significant visibility at the Token 2049 Singapore event, where it will feature a substantial exhibit and live demonstrations of its ecosystem. BlockDAG's presale success has naturally led to comparisons with other prominent presale cryptocurrencies in 2025, such as Bitcoin Hyper, Snorter, and Remitix. While each project offers unique value propositions, Bitcoin Hyper focuses on enhancing Bitcoin's utility via a Solana-based Layer 2 solution, and Remitix aims to build a pay-fi infrastructure connecting crypto with fiat. Analysts suggest that BlockDAG's broad retail appeal and established infrastructure give it a competitive edge. With a substantial user base of miners and developers already engaged, BlockDAG is demonstrating a level of operational maturity that is rare for early-stage Layer 1 projects, positioning it as a leading contender in the evolving Layer 1 blockchain landscape for 2025. BlockDAG's rapid rise is certainly turning heads, but will this retail-driven momentum translate into long-term dominance? We'll be watching. Coming up, we've got market-moving news about a massive whale potentially impacting Bitcoin prices. OG Bitcoin whale's potential offload Sparks market hedging hysteria. The cryptocurrency market is on edge as traders anticipate a potential significant downturn, largely driven by concerns over a prominent OG Bitcoin whale's possible large-scale sell-off. This anxiety is particularly heightened as the market approaches the Labor Day weekend, a period often associated with increased volatility. The market sentiment has shifted, with substantial sell orders entering the trading landscape, signaling a departure from recent consolidation phases and raising alarms among investors and analysts alike. This anticipated sell-off is occurring against a backdrop of mixed technical indicators and increasing volatility in Bitcoin's price action. Some market participants interpret the recent price dips as indicators of broader market uncertainty, exacerbated by notable capital outflows and a growing bearish sentiment among institutional investors. The market's sensitivity to large transactions executed by influential whales, individuals or entities holding vast amounts of cryptocurrency, adds a layer of complexity to short-term price forecasting, making the actions of this OG whale a focal point. The primary driver of this market speculation is the presence and potential activity of an OG BTC whale, an early adopter known for its historical influence on Bitcoin's price through substantial transactions. Although this whale has not made any overt moves recently, the market is on high alert for any indications of a major liquidation event that could trigger a domino effect of selling pressure. The mere possibility of such an action has prompted a widespread increase in hedging strategies and protective positioning across various investment portfolios. In response to this heightened uncertainty, retail investors and traders are actively adjusting their strategies. Many are adopting defensive measures, such as implementing short-term hedges and divesting portions of their holdings to mitigate potential losses. The observable increase in stop-loss orders and bearish activity in the futures market underscores a prevailing defensive posture among traders as Bitcoin's price hovers near critical support levels. Market analysts suggest that the ultimate impact of this situation will hinge on the interplay of liquidity dynamics and order book activity. Should the OG BTC whale proceed with a substantial offload, it could precipitate a rapid and sharp price decline. However, some market observers remain cautiously optimistic, pointing to the whale's historical transaction patterns and prevailing market conditions as factors that might temper the extent of a potential sell-off. As the Labor Day weekend approaches, the market's attention remains fixed on Bitcoin's ability to maintain its current support levels or face a significant correction. The coming days are deemed critical for determining whether the anticipated sell-off will materialize or if the market can find stability amidst the prevailing volatility. Investors are strongly advised to maintain vigilance and adapt their trading positions based on emerging market signals and data. Will this whale's potential move send Bitcoin tumbling, or is the market strong enough to absorb it? We'll have to wait and see. Coming up next, we're looking at a bold prediction from a prominent figure about Bitcoin's future price. Eric Trump reaffirms $1 million Bitcoin prediction amid market consolidation. Despite a challenging summer marked by Bitcoin's tendency to trade within a narrow range and lag behind Ethereum's performance, optimism persists in certain market segments. Eric Trump, co-founder of American Bitcoin, has reiterated his strong conviction in Bitcoin's long-term potential, doubling down on his forecast that BTC will eventually reach the $1 million mark. He attributes this bullish outlook to escalating institutional demand and the unwavering commitment of long-term holders. Speaking at the Bitcoin Asia 2025 conference in Hong Kong, Trump expressed his unwavering belief that Bitcoin is, without question, destined for $1 million. He highlighted a significant trend of adoption, noting that nation-states, Fortune 500 companies, and affluent families are aggressively accumulating Bitcoin. According to Trump, this widespread buying pressure is creating a structural shortage that will inevitably drive prices higher in the coming years. Everybody wants Bitcoin. Everybody is buying Bitcoin, he stated, emphasizing what he perceives as accelerating adoption across the global economy. Trump further argued that despite Bitcoin trading well above $100,000, investors are still in the early stages of participation, as broader retail involvement remains comparatively limited when contrasted with institutional activity. His comments are particularly relevant given the strong support base provided by long-term holders. On-chain data indicates that the 6-12-month UTXO band has maintained over 20% dominance, a level not seen since the 2021 peak, suggesting that many investors who acquired Bitcoin at higher price points are continuing to hold, thereby establishing a psychological floor for the market. However, Bitcoin's price performance has faced headwinds in recent weeks. Bitcoin experienced a 7% decline in August, while Ethereum saw a substantial 17% surge, widening the performance gap between the two leading cryptocurrencies. Over the past 2 months, Bitcoin's price has remained relatively stagnant, whereas Ethereum has appreciated by more than 70%. At the time of reporting, Bitcoin was trading around $108,800, having failed to sustain a position above $110,000. Technical indicators suggest underlying weakness, with the Daily Relative Strength Index, RSI, hovering near 38 and the Moving Average Convergence Divergence, MACD, remaining in negative territory, indicating potential downward pressure unless significant buying activity emerges. Historically, September has presented challenges for Bitcoin, with average declines of approximately 3.7% recorded since 2013. Conversely, October has consistently shown positive returns, earning the moniker Uptober due to average gains of 21% in past years. Analysts speculate that a similar pattern could unfold in 2025, particularly if the Federal Reserve adopts a more dovish monetary policy, such as implementing interest rate cuts later in the month. While spot prices are consolidating, activity in the derivatives markets is notably robust. Futures open interest across major platforms is concentrated in the mid-$80 billion range, near yearly highs, with CME Group and Binance leading. The options market is also highly active, with open interest exceeding $50 billion and a discernible bias towards call options. Traders are particularly focused on higher strike prices, with significant positions established in the $140,000 to $200,000 range for Q4 expiries. This positioning suggests a strategy of hedging against potential downside risks while retaining exposure to substantial upside gains later in the year. Near-term analysis indicates that max pain levels are close to $110,000, reflecting expectations of continued consolidation before any significant price breakout. Will Eric Trump's $1 million prediction come true, or is the current market range a sign of things to come? We'll keep you updated. That's all the news for today, but don't go anywhere. We've got a quick recap and a call to action. And that's a wrap on today's explosive updates. We saw Metaplanet's Bitcoin strategy hit a snag as its stock price plummeted, BlockDAG surge ahead with a massive $387 million presale thanks to retail investors, OG Bitcoin whales causing market jitters with potential sell-offs, and Eric Trump doubling down on that massive $1 million Bitcoin prediction. What a ride. If you found this information valuable, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to Bitcoin Bulletin for more of the best crypto news, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an update. And hey, let us know your thoughts on these stories in the comments below. Don't forget to follow us on all our social channels for even more real-time insights. Stay informed, stay invested, and we'll see you in the next one.